I will find you in the desert, in the barren, howling wasteland. I will surround you and watch over you. I will guard you as the apple of my eye. So there are three kinds of soul deserts. When the heat turns up in your life, when your heart turns cold, and when you're giving out more than you're taking in. These are all deserts of the soul. In our last session, we considered David's words in Psalm 63. It's the psalm that he wrote in the desert of Judah. He said, "O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water." You know, when I have found myself in a desert of the soul, I've often asked the question, how in the world did I get into this? I mean, I thought I was doing all the right things. I thought I was following the Lord. So why is this happening? And when we think of God leading us, we tend to think of Him leading us to greater and greater heights of spiritual accomplishment. Always upward, never down. Always forward, never backwards. But that simply is not the case. In fact, David tells us in Psalm 23 that when you're following the shepherd, sometimes he leads you straight into the valley of the shadow of death. God leads us as He knows best, regardless of the direction. And sometimes that direction takes us straight into a desert. Now, of course, you can get into a desert by deliberate disobedience. I mean, God's people, the Israelites, spent 40 years in a desert because of their disobedience. But I believe if you're following the Lord and you find yourself in a desert, it just might be because He led you there, just like He led Abraham and Moses and Elijah and Jesus into their deserts. He led you there because He has something to say to you, and you couldn't hear it anywhere else. The desert is God's way of getting your attention.